Hey guys, my name is Melinda Bessanise, and I am a Diamond Beachbody coach. And if you're watching this video, you're most likely in my 21 Day Fix Extreme Accountability group. And I'm so excited to have you here. Today I wanted to make this video to tell you guys a little bit about the program. We're going to talk about the meal plans, what you got in your challenge pack. And I actually listened to a webinar this morning with Autumn herself and a couple of the ladies who were in the coach test group before it actually launched. So you actually will see some of them in the paperwork here. So I got some firsthand information from the testers and Autumn herself. So I wanted to share that with you, and then I'll dive into the challenge pack and meal planning. So we know that this program is not for beginners. You know, you've most likely done either the 21 Day Fix or another Beachbody program, or you're currently working out to some capacity. So this program is for people who have a baseline of fitness. I don't want to go too much into the differences of the 21 Day Fix and the 21 Day Fix Extreme, but I do want to touch on a few things as I feel it's important that you guys know what this program is about and what we're going to get into. So, you know, you're going to have the same containers. I'm going to go over these in just a second. You have the modifier option for your workouts. It is a different woman, but there is a modifier to follow if you need. There is also 30-minute workouts. They are different workouts, but they are all still 30 minutes long. So how is it different? So I want you guys to each go through the eating plan on your own when you have a little bit more time. We'll talk about this in just a minute, but I want you really to look through the container food lists and understand what's on here. Because some things are changed. They haven't completely revamped the program, but they did remove some of the things that were lower on the list. For example, you're not going to see waffles. You're not going to see wine. You're not going to see all of the treats. And this isn't because, they want to be mean or they want us to suffer or anything like that. It's because this program is created to dial in your nutrition and your fitness. This program is to help you deliver results. They want you to get in and get out in 21 days and get the results that you came for. So, the food lists are different. Let's see, there are 2 meal plans in this program. So you're going to see the extreme meal plan and the countdown to competition, which I will go over both of those in just a second with you, a little bit more detail. Basically, the extreme meal plan is very similar to the original meal plan. Like I said, it does have a little bit less options in your food choices, but it does give you a little bit more wiggle room, where the countdown to competition is very strict. It's meant for 21 days. Anybody can do anything for 21 days. So I don't want to scare you with it, but if this is your first time doing the 21 Day Fix, you might want to start with the extreme meal plan before going into the countdown to competition. Unless you have a goal, unless you're ready to buckle down and really hone in on it, then by all means, I'll go over it in just a second and we can talk about it. So let me see. There are weights in all of the workouts. That's different from the first one. There is a range. It tells you if you're a woman or a man, what range you should be using, but that's absolutely a guide. If you feel like you need to lower those weights or raise those weights, by all means, listen to your body and do what works best for you. That's just a guide. If you purchased your challenge pack, you got a pink band, and that's going to be very important for the PIO especially. I know some of us don't really love the band, but believe me, in order to get results, you're going to want to use that band. So don't toss it to the side. Don't let your kids use it as a lasso like my son likes to do with mine. But, definitely keep that handy. You're going to need it, and you're going to get amazing results by using it. So let's see. Autumn did talk about the two different meal plans. Like I said, you might not want to start with the Countdown to Competition because it is a carb cycling program. It is not meant to do long term. So she suggests if you want to do the Countdown to Competition, do 1 round of that and then do 2 rounds of the Extreme Plan and then come back and do another one. You can do it for 2 rounds in a row, if you have a big event or if you have some goal that you're really pushing for, you can absolutely do it. But, cycle back through the Extreme Meal Plan and the Countdown to Competition. The Countdown to Competition is not something that you'll be able to do long term and still reap the benefits of the results that you're looking for. So this program is also good for anybody who has any sort of food restrictions or allergies or anything, gluten-free, dairy-free, if you're vegan, if you have no restrictions, these meal plans are created for variety. They give us lots of options here. So there's something here for everybody. One of the girls on the webinar this morning is a vegan, and she said that she had absolutely no problem making it work. You just have to plan a little bit ahead and make sure that you thoroughly understand what foods are allowed and not allowed on the program. So I'm going to dive into meal prepping a little bit more, but I want to let you guys know that has to happen first. If you don't meal prep, you're just going to set yourself up for frustration and you're going to quit. And I don't want anyone to quit, so don't do that. Go to the store sometime between now and day 1. Go create your meal plan before you go to the store. If you need help, reach out to me. Let's do this together. This is why I'm here for you. I want to help you create a meal plan that's not only going to work for you, but will work for your family and that you look forward to. Like, who wants to eat food that they don't like, right? Not me. So let's create a meal plan that will work for everybody. I will post in our accountability group, several meal plans. So you can see how lots of different people are eating on this program. You're going to see some similarities from meal plan to meal plan, of course, but I'll provide you with plenty of samples in the group that you can either copy identically or you can modify so that they work for you. You just don't want to wait for day 1 and be like, okay, let's do this, and then open the fridge and try to figure out what you have that's going to make it work, because it's not going to work. If you have any junk food in the house, any temptations, I know this is hard when, maybe our spouse isn't following it or our kids or anybody that we live with. I understand that can be a little bit hard. You can't throw away everybody's food, but it's 21 days. You can ask people to make changes with you. They don't have to follow it exactly, but just ask them to support you. Let them know that box of Oreos on the shelf is really a temptation. Can they keep it in their room, or can we finish it up before day 1, or whatever you need to do to get it out of the house? When you go grocery shopping, have that list and don't veer from that list. Don't go to the grocery store hungry. Don't go down the cookie aisle. There's nothing on the 21-day fix that you need to go down the cookie aisle for, or whatever your temptation and trigger foods are. I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be in the 21-day fix. So just stay out of those aisles. Cook and prep your meals ahead of time. There's a couple ways to do this. You can, if you have the time and the way you want to do it, you can plan your entire week out. You can cook every single meal, every single snack, chop all your fruits and veggies, and be basically done on Sunday if you want. But if that's not for you, if that's too much, if you can't think 7 days ahead, that's totally fine. You don't have to do it that way either. Just do a couple days at a time. Do what works for you. And don't worry about what anybody else is doing in the program, in the group. I always ask you guys to share your meal prep pictures, your Sunday meal prep and all that. So if somebody has their entire kitchen covered in containers and they're ready to go, don't freak out. It's okay. That just works for them. And if, doing 2 days at a time works for you and you throw it in a Ziploc bag instead of a container, that works. It all works. I just want you guys to thoroughly understand and enjoy this and have fun. So, if, like I said, if a couple days at a time, maybe on Sunday, you can make 4 chicken breasts and a batch of brown rice, or bake a couple sweet potatoes and steam a pot of broccoli. And, those are some of the staples that you're going to need. So as the week goes, you can just kind of scoop from there and fill your containers to make your plate. That's definitely fine. Also, take a look at your calendar. 21 days is about a month. After this prep week, we have 3 more weeks and we'll have finished a month. Look at your calendar and see what you guys have coming up. If you have business meetings, if you have to travel, if you have family vacations, if you have soccer practice with your kids after work, even if you're not traveling, but you have all day meetings at work. I used to do those, and I know that there's nothing healthy. They're calling in pizza or pastries and bagels in the morning. I know what those meetings look like. And you don't have to eat that food. When I worked in the corporate world, it was my responsibility to order the catering, to spread out all the food on the table and all of that. And many of the meetings I also had to attend, and I would bring my own lunchbox. And I really didn't care. Nobody ever said anything, nobody made comments. But if they did, I didn't care, because I knew that it was 21 days or whatever, it was a short time to get me to my goal. And it's what I wanted. It didn't matter what anybody else wanted. I didn't care if they were eating a greasy piece of pizza or, 4 cookies. I was very content because I was really dialed into my goals and my why. And I knew at the end of that night, I was going to go home feeling great, and they weren't. So, bring your own food is all I can suggest. Don't fall into temptation. Invite people the way they invite you to go out or to eat foods that aren't really so healthy. Invite them to your lifestyle as well. You can make healthy snacks and healthy foods and invite people to your lifestyle just as easily. So don't be embarrassed to bring your own food. Share with people, and it's not that bad. Okay. So they also talked about changing our habits. We need to change our mindset. This is not a punishment. We're not doing this because we're in trouble, because maybe we've gained some weight, or because we need to lose some weight, or whatever. We're doing this to get healthy and strong. So, look at this as a positive experience. You may feel a little bit hungry in the beginning, because what typically happens is that before we start these programs, we're eating foods that are not nutritionally dense. So, if you're eating fast food or processed foods or TV dinners or cans of soup or anything like that, what happens is that the portion sizes are small for the most part. I'm not talking about like at a restaurant, a can of soup, a frozen TV dinner, whatever you're eating processed at home. It's going to be a small amount, but typically it's going to have a lot of calories. So when you say like, oh, I need to eat 1,200 calories or 1,500 calories a day, and you're eating these small things, the calories add up like that. And you really, if you spread it all out on the table, don't have a lot of food, but your calorie amount has been consumed in no time. So when you change to a program like the 21 Day Fix and you eat a serving of broccoli like this much, or a cup of grapes that are this much, and this much chicken, and you dump it out all on your plate, you're probably like, holy cow, how am I going to eat all this food? It's because this food is healthy, it's clean, it's low in calories, but high in volume. So, you're either going to experience one of two things. You're going to either be hungry, or you're going to be like, how in the world am I going to eat this food? But let me tell you, let a couple days go by, stick to the program. Don't stuff yourself. If you feel like, you just cannot possibly consume all of the food, don't. But, don't make yourself sick over it. But, it's important to eat every 2 to 3 hours so that you stay, your blood sugar levels stay, your metabolism keeps burning for you, and you should be hungry about every 2 to 3 hours. But what's going to happen is as we get into the workouts and our metabolism speed up, it will be much easier to eat these foods because you'll be hungry. You'll be burning more calories than you were probably before you started this program. So, and if you're feeling hungry, don't suffer. Eat an extra container of vegetables, or maybe have 2 hard-boiled eggs or some lean chicken or something like that. but I would definitely stick to a green or a red container. I know everybody's bodies are different. So if you're struggling, reach out to me, or if I'm not your coach, reach out to your coach. Tell them what you're doing, tell them how you're feeling, how it's not feeling right, and ask if they can offer any suggestions, because, most likely we can, but we don't know you're struggling if you don't talk to us. So just let us know. Let me see. Like I said before, try not to compare when you see everybody's food prep out and all of that. Don't compare, but also don't compare people's results. I know it's super exciting. Everybody on day one is ready to lose 7 pounds in the first 7 days. And some people might, and you might not lose anything. You might gain some weight. So what's up with that, right? If you gain weight, what's happening is that our muscles are swelling. They're retaining water. We're starting new workouts and our muscles are tearing. And the body's way to repair that is to swell while they repair. So in a couple days, it will go away, but don't quit. This is exactly why I tell you guys not to use the scale as your only method of tracking your progress, because of things exactly like this. So, take your measurements this week, take your before pictures. That's why it's so important to do this stuff during this prep week. And then just do it once a week. Don't weigh every day. Don't measure every day. If you want to wait the whole 20 days, how awesome would that be to get on the scale and see that nice surprise? So if you could do that, give that a try. But if you are the kind of person who needs to have that reassurance from the scale or the tape measure, get on the scale once a week. Pick a day, pick a time, keep it the same, whether it be every Monday morning or every Friday night or whatever works for you. Then that's what you're going to do once a week, because things fluctuate. We have that time of the month. We might have had too much salt, the muscle tear thing I just talked about. There's lots of factors that are going to make that weight fluctuate. And like I said, don't compare to others. Everybody loses weight at different speeds. Just, trust the process. Trust that in 21 days, if you followed the meal plans, you've stuck to your workouts, then you're going to see amazing results. So these programs are designed to follow them to a T. We aren't the professionals. Autumn is the professional. The people at Beachbody who create these meal plans and these workouts, they are the professionals. So they have figured out exactly what we need to do in our workouts, being the 30-minute workouts, and exactly what we need to eat, which I'll go over in just a second. Don't overtrain. Don't throw in an extra T25 or a PiYo or 5 miles around your neighborhood or go run a marathon on the weekend, because these are things that are going to offset your progress. The program is designed for you to get that 30-minute workout, that estimated 450 calorie burn, and that's it. But they've done that so that we can still get amazing results. If you start tweaking the system and start adding in extra workouts or taking a container out here or putting an extra one in there and trying to fudge it, that's where your results are going to stall. They're going to stop. You're going to get frustrated. So trust the process. I can't tell you enough. Don't overtrain. Doing an hour and a half is not going to get you results any faster than your neighbor who's only doing 30 minutes. So stick to the program, okay? So that is all I have to say from my webinar this morning. So now I want to go over the program and your challenge pack. So you got all these books, right? And you're like, okay, great, now what? So let's just dive into them all. I'm not going to read every booklet here, but I'm just going to kind of tell you what to expect from each one. So the one that says start here, let's start there. This is going to tell you your calendar of your workouts. So this right here, you're going to follow this all 3 weeks. Now, if you do have the 21-day fix, the original version, you do know that there's 2 weeks of workouts and then 1 week of double workouts. They don't have the 1 week of double workouts in the 21-day fix extreme. So you just will repeat the same week 3 times. You did get this bonus disc called the Fix Challenge. And this says that you can replace it for the Cardio Fix Extreme, which is on Friday. So if you want to maybe the second week or third week, try something new, throw this in instead on Friday, and you can actually stay on plan that way. This book will also show you the workouts, and it'll show you exactly a little description of each one and what to expect. If you did upgrade your kit to the Ultimate Kit, or you got the bonus workouts, then you will see this under here, how to incorporate those. Those are absolutely not necessary, but if you did get those, that's how you will incorporate that. Inches and measurements. So on the back of the Start Here guide, this will show you exactly where to measure and how to track your inches. You can do your before and after. You can write it on here or just on a piece of binder paper, or whatever works for you. You will see on the back of the actual DVDs, there are the workouts listed. This is not the order in which to do them. This is just which programs are on which disc. So be sure to use the calendar that's in the Start Here guide. This program, or this booklet with the 2 on the front with the 21-day fix shirts. Can't wait to get that. After you finish your program, you can submit for your free shirt, and that's what they look like. But anyway, this book tells you how to do your pictures. So this is going to tell you, what type of camera to use, what clothes to wear, backdrops, poses, and it tells you about your free shirt and your prizes. It also has a sample here of how to do your posing. Okay. So in your challenge pack, let's see, you also got a shaker cup. You got either a bag of Shakeology. This is the chocolate vegan. So if you got the black bag, it's regular. That's why it looks different. Or you may have gotten the individual serving packets in a variety of flavors. There are several to choose from. So you got your Shakeology, your shaker cup. You got your sets of containers. I'll go over these in just a second. And you got your pink resistance band. So let me talk about the 2 meal plans briefly, and then we will kind of dive into what I call the 21-Day Fix Bible, which is your eating plan and where all the main information is going to come from. So the Countdown to Competition program, very strict, very doable. It's 21 days. You can do anything for 21 days. But I just, I want to kind of go over it so you guys fully understand that this is something that is short term. Like I said earlier with the carb cycling, it's not something that you want to do long term, but it is definitely something that's doable. If you're doing several rounds of the 21-Day Fix Extreme, you can, do 1 round of the Extreme, then 1 round of the Countdown to Competition, and go every 3 weeks, switch back and forth. If this is your first time doing the 21-Day Fix Extreme, they suggest, to do the Extreme meal plan, unless you have, like a strict goal or, an event, a wedding, something coming up that you want to start with the Countdown to Competition. But if not, then going through the Extreme meal plan might be a great way to ease you from the original 21-Day Fix or your current eating plan into the Countdown to Competition. So let me go through it briefly. This will tell you, let me see. You're going to have 2 types of eating on this. You do intermix the Countdown to Competition and the Extreme. So that's why you see the purple and the teal boxes here. Now, it's going to tell you on page 4 of the eating plan which calorie range you're in. So you still need to go to page 4, figure out that calorie range. And then this is going to tell you right here, say you're in the first calorie range, it's going to tell you on the teal Extreme days how many containers to eat. And then on the purple Countdown to Competition days, it's going to tell you exactly how many containers to eat here as well. So you'll just follow along this calendar for the 21 days, and then check back here to see how many containers on each day. Again, if you are going to follow this plan and you need help with your meal plan, we can definitely get on the phone. We can do a video chat, whatever works for you to make sure that you have your 3 weeks planned out and your container count right. They do have a sample of Autumn's exact plan right here. This is very, very, very strict. It does only incorporate cod, fish, and vegetables, and and coconut oil. So if you're not a fan of fish, that's okay. She talks about here that you can replace your Shakeology with, or you can incorporate Shakeology still with 1 container of the red. You can replace some of the coconut oil with 1 container of avocado oil. And I do know that there are people following it who are using chicken and lean ground turkey instead. Again, that's totally your choice. If you want to follow her plan, by all means do. But if that's a little bit too rigid, you can substitute that. In the book here, when I go over the containers, you will see pluses and X's. And it explains here that pluses are foods that Autumn eats, and X's are foods that she does not eat. So, she skips the dairy, she skips the foods with the X's, and that's just how she gets her results. So again, not necessary if you don't want to go that extreme. If you want to follow the extreme plan before the countdown to competition, it's good practice. You can start weaning those things out and see how you do and see if you like it. Okay, so let's get started. The eating plan here is going to be your go-to for everything. It talks about the different containers and what goes in them. So let me talk about that real quick. Green is going to be your vegetables. Your purple is going to be your fruits. Your red will be your proteins. Your yellow is going to be your carbs. The blue is going to be your healthy fats. And the orange are going to be your seeds and your dressing. So you do have 2 of those, but make sure you check your calorie range, because not all ranges have 2 of those, but they do give you 2 containers there. They don't give you the teaspoon because most people already have a teaspoon at home. You do get your shaker cup for your Shakeology, and you can measure out any liquids in that you need to as well. So let's go into page 4. You're going to see right here your calorie range. So this formula right here is going to help you figure out exactly what you need to eat each day. It's going to take into consideration the type of lifestyle you live. So if you have a sedentary desk job, a moderate lifestyle, or a very active, demanding lifestyle, you're going to, follow the different range here. And then it's going to give you your calorie target. So once you get your calorie target, you're going to go over to page 5, and it has all of the calories listed here. So then you're going to go, find your target. For example, let's just say you're 1,500 calories. Then you're going to go here, and it's going to tell you that you get 4 greens, 3 purples, 4 reds, and so on. Just go down to see how many containers you get each day. Okay, let's see. So you can use the tracker sheets that they have here in the back of the book, or you can print them offline off of Team Beachbody. Ask your coach and we can help you with that. I will also upload into the group a blank meal planning template that I use. It's just an Excel spreadsheet, but I put a blank one in there so you guys can either print it out and write on it, or you can, type on it and print it out. But I just wanted to kind of talk real quick about how I create that, because when I first started, and, it told me that I had 3 green containers and 2 purple, or whatever my count was, I had no idea what that meant. Like, how do I turn 3 greens into my vegetables? Like, what do I do? So the way I build my meal plan is kind of like a puzzle. So, if I have 4 reds are going to be my protein. That's typically what I start with when I do my meal plan. I'm going to make them for my 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and one of my snacks. So I'm going to start plugging in the protein. So for breakfast, maybe I'm going to have a veggie scramble. So I'm going to have my 2 eggs is going to be my 1 red. I'm going to plug that in for breakfast, eggs. And then for lunch, let's just say I'm going to have a grilled chicken salad. So I'm going to put grilled chicken for lunch. And then let's say for dinner, I'm going to have turkey meatloaf. So I'm going to write meatloaf. So There's my 3 meals. And then I like to have protein at one of my snacks. So maybe I'm going to have my Shakeology for my morning snack. And so I write Shakeology for my morning snack. And now my reds are done. I have my eggs, my Shakeology, my chicken, and my meatloaf. So now I'm going to move to the vegetables because I kind of like to figure out, which vegetables I'm going to use. So in my veggie scramble, I'm going to put spinach. So let's do spinach and mushrooms. So I'm going to fill half of this green container here with mushrooms and then the other half with spinach. So if you want to, combine the foods in each container, that's absolutely fine. But it still would count as one container. So let's put spinach and mushrooms in my omelet. Let's have broccoli with my meatloaf at dinner. And then I'm going to have that chicken salad for lunch. So that's going to be the third vegetable. So now my proteins are done. My vegetables are done. Let's do the fruits next. So I typically like to put half of a banana in my Shakeology. So next to my Shakeology, I'm going to write half of a banana. And then in the afternoon, let's say I'm going to have some grapes with almonds. So I'm going to put grapes and almonds. The grapes will be my purple and my almonds are going to be my blue container. So now I only get one blue. So now my blue's done. Let's see. Carbs. Yellow is what I have left. So I get 2 carbs. So maybe with my meatloaf and my broccoli, I want to have some sweet potatoes. So I'm going to put sweet potatoes at dinner. And then maybe with my veggie scramble, I would like a piece of whole wheat toast. So I'm going to put a piece of toast on my breakfast, and now I'm done. I've finished my veggies, my fruits, my proteins, my carbs, my healthy fats with the almonds, and with my chicken salad, I'm going to use the dressing. So in this book, you're going to have some great recipes for dressing. I highly suggest you guys try them. Just pour it in this and dump it on your salad. So I still have my 2 teaspoons. Now you can use those for things we'll go over in just a second. Peanut butter, sometimes I like to put it in my shake. You can use it for coconut oil while you cook your chicken. There's a variety of ways to get your teaspoon in. But that's most likely how I do it, is with the peanut butter and the coconut oil. So I hope that helps kind of how I structure my meal plan. And I really like to keep it simple. I don't want to overwhelm myself. I'm not going to have 7 different dinners, 7 different lunches. I typically am a creature of habit. I'm going to eat the same things for breakfast and lunch and mix up dinner, or maybe use leftover dinners for lunch. But I'm certainly not going to have 7 different lunches, 7 different dinners, and stress myself out. I know in the beginning I was a little bit worried about how do I turn these containers into a dinner, like if I want to make chili or a casserole of some sort, or something that my family's going to enjoy as well. So I have lots of recipes. Again, if you're in my challenge group, check the photo section. We have a whole photo album of recipes. And also in this book on starting on page 38, they have a ton of recipes in here for you guys. Breakfast recipes, lunch, dinner, snacks, Shakeology recipes. Excuse me, they have a ton, much more than the first one. So definitely use these resources, and kind of think outside of the box. So if your family likes tacos and it's Taco Tuesday, don't think that you can't have it. You can definitely incorporate it. You can have lettuce wrap tacos. You can have regular tacos. You can have 2 corn tortillas on here. So, just kind of think outside the box. Don't immediately go to this is too rigid. It's not going to work for my family. My family's not going to eat this way. Just do it. Try it. They're going to do it. The food is good. I promise you, I'm not starving. We eat all the time. We eat chili. We eat meatloaf, we have tacos, we have spaghetti, there's tons of stuff that you can have. You just have to get a little bit creative. And like I said, don't panic, ask questions. There's tons of recipes in our group. There's lots of resources. I have lots of recipes and meal plans, like I said, so just ask. Because I know that when you first start, like I was saying with the mushrooms and the spinach in here, I didn't think of that in the beginning. I thought this whole thing had to be mushrooms or this whole thing had to be spinach. I'm like, how am I going to get that much food in? But, get creative. You can add peppers and onions to this and make fajitas, or lots of things. So let's just talk about it. The more active you are in the group, then, that's definitely going to help me help you. So let's keep going. Green is your veggies. The same as the original 21-day fix, the more nutrient dense foods are going to be higher up on the list than the bottom. They have removed some of the foods from the bottom that just weren't, necessarily needed. And like I said, you will see on here pluses and X's next to the food. And those are the foods that Autumn eats or she skips. Again, purple is going to be your fruit. It tells you on here, for the most part, if it fits in the container, then you can eat it. But it does say things such as tangerines, 2 small, or apricots, 4 small. So, some of the things do have an actual serving size. So just double check and make sure, do I fill this or do I just eat 2 tangerines? You're also going to find on here salsa and tomato sauce. So those, you might not think right off the bat would have been in the purple fruit container, but those are questions I get a lot. So like marinara sauce, tomato sauce for your spaghetti, things like that are going to be measured in a purple, and the salsa also will be in a purple. Okay, red is your proteins. This is also where you find your Shakeology. So if you got the big bag like this, you're going to have a scoop in there. If you got the packets, 1 whole packet counts as 1 serving, 1 red. And you don't have to you don't fill this with your Shakeology, you fill the scooper that comes in the Shakeology bag. Let's see, they do incorporate protein powder if you are a protein powder person. If you are vegetarian or vegan, they have options here. Tofu, tempeh, I think I'm saying that right. Then they also have eggs, yogurt, cottage cheese, turkey, fish, things like that. So this is going to be a whole variety of foods, your protein foods. It's also, you're not going to see things like turkey bacon. You're not going to see things like lunch meat that were on the original 21-day fix. I'm not sure exactly what else they took off, but I do know that those were 2 that I noticed right away. No turkey bacon, no lunch meat, things like that. The yellow container is going to be your carbs. So as I mentioned early on in this video, there are no more waffles. There are no more crackers, but again, think outside the box. So yesterday it said that I could have 2 small corn tortillas. So I took them, I cut them up into little triangles, and I put them in the oven at 450, and I made my own tortilla chips. Then I had half a purple of salsa, and I used my blue for avocado. So I made my own little guacamole, and I had my tortilla chips. So you just have to think outside the box. This is where you're going to see your sweet potatoes, yams, oatmeals, things like that, your beans. Pasta, you can have whole grain pasta. You can have whole grain sprouted bread. You can have your tortillas, so you can still have your tacos. Like I said, you can make chips. There's so much that you can do. You just have to think outside the box a little bit. So your blues are going to be your healthy fats. This is where you're going to find your avocados, your cheeses, your nuts. There's lots of X's on this page because Autumn does not eat cheese or dairy, so you're going to have a lot of X's there. But again, this is just they're incorporating what she does into the guidelines. You can by all means have cheddar cheese, Parmesan, feta. Talks about all the options right there. The nuts are counted out, so you're not going to necessarily fill this blue container with almonds because you can probably fit more than 12 that they suggest. So definitely pay attention to the serving size on the healthy fats. The avocado, you can fill it if you want to mash it. If you need it like sliced or cubed or something like that, then they do suggest 1/4 of a medium avocado. So again, just check the serving on that. The orange is going to be your seeds and your dressings. This is going to be raw nuts, seeds, and then on page 62 in the book, they have a lot of recipes for the dressings, and they're really, really good. I use them on the stir fries, on salads, on just on the meats. They're really good. So your teaspoons, like I said, your challenge pack did not come with a teaspoon, but this is what you're going to use for your olive oil, coconut oils, your peanut butters, almond butters, things like that. And then there are some free foods that, we they have on here so that we can spice up our foods and add some flavor. So they're free because hopefully you're not eating like a cup of it, or, you know, like just a little bit will go a long way. So this is where you're going to find your herbs, your spices, garlic, ginger, hot sauce, extracts, E&E. If you do drink Beachbody's Energy and Endurance, 1 scoop is a free food. So there's a bigger list here, so make sure you check that out. Water is super, super, super important. We'll talk about it lots throughout the group, but on page 24 and 25, they talk about water. They have a water bar here with lots of different recipes, ways you can add some flavor to your water, because I know that, you know, sometimes it's hard to drink regular water, but they've got some great stuff that you can add in there. Then on page 26, they have coffee and tea. They have a list of things that you can add and things that you cannot add. So, you know, I'm sure you've already heard there's no creamer, there's no half and half, no sugars, no sweeteners, nothing for your coffee. If you would like to add some coconut oil to your coffee and kind of froth it up, I have not personally done it, but I heard it is amazing. So I'm going to look into that, and I will be sharing that with you guys in the challenge group. Milk is another big question I get a lot. So on page 27, you're going to see a list of different types of milk: soy milk, almond milk, regular milk, things like that. It tells you how many ounces you can have. So for example, almond milk, unsweetened almond milk, you can have 16 ounces, but that's a lot, you know, for 1 serving, depending on, you know, that's a lot for me for 1 serving. You can replace your milk in a yellow container up to 2 times per week. But let's say you're not going to have the full 16 ounces on Monday. So you can have 8 ounces on Monday, 8 ounces on Tuesday, and then once you've hit that 16 ounce mark, you're going to count your yellow. So you would count your yellow container on Tuesday. If you want to split it up into 4, you know, 4 ounces, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then the yellow would fall on Thursday once you've hit that 16 ounce mark. Okay, so page 31, there are lots of seasoning recipes. These are really good. You can make up a little batch, put them in a jar or something, and keep them in the cabinet. You can also use Mrs. Dash salt-free seasonings. There's such a variety. There's so many. I love them. Just make sure that they say salt-free, because all of her line is not salt-free, but you know, there is a huge variety that are packed with flavor. So definitely check those out. And then I'm not going to go through all of the recipes, but starting on page 35, you have your breakfast recipes. Then, you know, they look really good. There's pancakes, there's egg muffins, you know, so there's tons of variety. You have lunch on page 41. And it's not just boring salads. You got fajitas and wraps and some salads. And then dinner is on page 49. You're going to have some really great meatloaf and chili. Like I said, I'm certainly not starving on this plan. They have some great side dishes, some meatballs. Then there's lots of snacks on here as well. Page 57 is your snacks. And then the dressings, like I said, are on page 62. Lots of dressing recipes here. They usually hold up for about a week. And like I said, you can use them on meats, stir fries, wraps, anything like that. Page 69, there are some Shakeology recipes here. And remember that whatever you add to your Shakeology, you need to check off in your containers. So it's not just the red because it's your Shakeology. So for this example, they add walnuts to the Shakeology. So your walnuts are going to be your healthy fats. So you're going to use 1 blue and 1 red when you're making that Shakeology. Let's see, some more Shakeology recipes, and that is it. We're at the end. So hopefully you've stuck through this video. I'm hoping it wasn't too long for you. I wanted to get you guys all of the information I could. And if you are a participant in my challenge group, like I did mention, there are a couple photo albums in the photo section. I have one for meal plans where we're going to have a ton of meal plan samples for you. One will be recipes. So there's going to be pictures of the recipe along with either the specific instructions or a link to find the recipe on my blog. And ask questions. If you need something and it's not there, let us know. If you found something helpful, share it with the group. We're all about sharing. This is your group. I want you guys to all, feel comfortable, feel like a family. We're doing this together. And definitely the more you participate, the more you're going to get out of it, because, I know it's hard. Not everybody's doing it with us. Our families aren't necessarily always so supportive, but we are here for each other. We're here to support each other, help you get results, and just crush it. I'm so excited. You guys are, starting a new program. I know it can be scary, but just take it one day at a time and have fun. So if you have any questions, post below, and I look forward to starting day one with you guys on Monday. Bye.